Yeah, so the particular issues about legal proceedings where there was a gap in the old constitution where, whilst it gave power to defend legal proceedings, there was no power to settle legal proceedings. So I'm just covering that gap, because whilst all solicitors have an inherent authority to settle, I thought it was important to be specific in the constitution as well. Also, the second issue it covers in legal proceeding is that different directors have different functions in terms of legal action. So there are some finance legal actions, there are some under community services, there are some under operational services. And what problem we've had at the moment is that sometimes functions move between different directors, and we end up with a function under a director who has no power to take legal proceedings. For example, dropping litter might be a good example where that moved between directorates, and therefore we end up with a director who didn't have authority to do that. So that just clarifies that point. Under 14.04, that bit in yellow, the figure there is actually £10,000. So that's a change. So we have contracts, written contracts where the price is more than £10,000. And on page 22, it says that should be the common seal will be held by the legal services manager. So can you just delete monitoring officer there, so that just stays back as a legal services manager who has a seal in a tank in the office which is fed regularly on fish. So
questions, points to raise on this? Councillor Johnson.
Yes, so point 1, 14.03 and then 1, the head of legal service and monitoring officer can take any legal action necessary to carry out the council's decisions or protect its interests. We have had examples of that over animal welfare in particular, and obviously as the leader I would have been notified on the decisions we had to make about legal matters. But I think officers would always inform the leader. But an officer would have to make a decision, for example, closing the port at the time, dealing with the legal actions afterwards. But these would be officers' decisions. I think the public out there often think it's an elected member's decision, but the officer is protecting the council. Yeah.
Thank you for that insight, Councillor Johnson.
Oh, yes.
Based on much practice. Any points, any other questions? Right, can I just take it then that you are comfortable with what is proposed for Annex 2? Much nod. Great.